of the morning to you, dear listener. It's 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. And I am CHIKE. OGBOGU. It's time for the Break at Dawn newspaper review, your early morning tonic. With me this morning, I have the Punch newspaper, the Nation newspaper, I have the Daily Post, and the online newspaper, Premium Times, and the Nigerian Tribune. Let's start straight with the Nation newspaper this morning. The lead story, front page, bold headline: Tinubu, Osinbajo, Fayemi, others, Southwest resolve to produce next president with riders. Emefiele, Yerima, Ono, Bankole, 18 others pick APC nomination forms. Why contest is attracting an unprecedented number of aspirants. That's coming from the party source. EFCC monitoring funds used in buying forms. Bauer, former deputy governor's forum, backs Tinubu's aspiration as federal government bans civil servants from participating in primaries. Voluntary withdrawal from form violates a constitutional electoral act, lawyer tells APC. Aviation fuel, domestic airlines threaten shutdown on Monday. That's on page 29 of the Nation newspaper. More headlines here. Buhari to Igbo leaders. Only court can decide Nnamdi Kanu's fate. Confiscate IPOB backers' assets, shut Radio Biafra. Presidency tells UK. That's on page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Supreme Court upholds Rivers' claim to 17 oil wells in dispute with Imo. With this rider, we want the court to defend our state's interests, says Wike. You can find out on page 7 of the Nation newspaper this morning. More headlines from the Nation newspaper. Presidency disengage as CBN governor now. Akeredolu tells Emefiele. You can find that on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Tinubu, Lagos APC stakeholders endorse Sanwo-Olu Hamzat for second term. Kano APC crisis. Supreme Court affirms Ganduye's group's leadership. That's some headline from the Nation newspaper this morning. We'll go straight to the Punch newspaper quickly this morning with some of these headlines, and we have the lead story resonating on almost all the newspapers this morning. APC presidential ticket, Osinbajo, Tinubu, Fayemi, others fail to agree on consensus. The Southwest leaders caution aspirants on utterances, insist candidates must emerge from zone. More from that story. The rider Akeredolu demands immediate sacking of CBN governor. More Southern aspirants join race as Ono Emefiele, the Meji Bankole pick forms. Okay, we have more headlines here. I'm devastated by my son's death. Days to his wedding. Father of 25-year-old who died in latrine pit. More here. We're monitoring funds used in buying presidential forms. That's coming from the EFCC chairman. Mom was hit with charm, dismembered after losing consciousness. Son of Osun widow killed by suspected ritualists. Yaya Bello, Igbo leaders summon Wazirike threatened punishment. I feel damaged for life, says 24-year-old lady alleged defiled her childhood by uncle and dad's friend. More headlines here. Airlines to suspend operations on Monday as aviation fuel hits 700 naira per litre. Buhari meets northern governors, insecurity tops agenda. President rejects Southeast leaders. Khan's appeal to free Nnamdi Kanu. With the rider, we didn't declare IPOB terrorist organization, says UK. We didn't declare IPOB terrorist organization, says UK. Wike excited as Supreme Court sees 17 oil wells to River State. Okay, there was jubilation in some parts of Oyo when Alaafin died, son of Morada Shikwa Olaoshegba. With the rider, over 20 princes jostle for vacant stool. Well, interesting headline there. Tinubu ends speculation and endorses Sanwo-Olu for second term. All right, let's check out some stories from the Daily Trust this morning. 2023 presidency. Sack Emefiele if he refuses to step down. Governor Keredolu tells President Buhari. More headlines there from the Daily Trust this morning. Painful tales from Fulani IDPs in Niger State. Only courts can clear Nnamdi Kanu. That's coming from President Muhammad Buhari. More here. Emefiele's presidential declaration is a breach of public service rules. That's coming from a lawyer. Okay, more here. Buhari meets northern governors, security chiefs over insecurity. Amechi Shon's question on Wike's presidential ambition. Okay, 2023. Our economy is in shambles. Nigerians fault Emefiele's declaration. Massive defection in Kano Assembly as Kwankwaso's new party gains ground. That's the NNPP. Ex-Zamfara Governor Yerima joins presidential race. We will use education and punitive measures to curb SGVB rampaging. Borno State government speaking there. Let's move straight to the Tribune newspaper this morning. Let's see some headlines from the Tribune newspaper this morning. And we have this story here. It's still Emefiele Keredolu calling for the sack of immediate resignation of the CBN governor. Southwest United for 2023 presidency. That's coming from Chief Bisi Akonde. IPOB not on UK's list of terrorist organizations. British High Commission. Then you want to ask who broke that news. Okay, more headlines here. Nurses demand involvement in policy decision making, insurance coverage. Presidential aspirant Ajadi commends Nollywood, pledges key positions for actors in his government. That's Comrade Olufemi Ajadi speaking there. 2023, Undo APC youth endorse lawmaker for second term. Next president must come from Southwest. APC leaders in zone insist. And here, Sokoto 2023, former Transport Minister Yusuf Suleiman obtains APC Gube form. Many headlines here, especially this one resonating on almost all the newspapers this morning. The issue of the aviation fuel, airline operators to shut down operations from Monday, May 9th, as cost of aviation fuel hits 700 naira per liter. These are some headlines from the Tribune newspaper this morning. Moving straight quickly to the Premium Times. UTME 2022 downpour, technical hitches cause candidates to miss exam. Okay, that's a story there. APC Southwest presidential aspirants meet in Lagos. Okay, we've taken most of these headlines. Buhari meeting with Ohanese Ndibo traditional rulers, others. Shibajo, Nnamani, Bakare pick APC presidential nomination forms. Many of these headlines resonating on almost all the papers this morning. I'm now joined by Austin Idumo to do some justice to some of these headlines this morning. And Austin, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chike.
Thank you for hanging on for too long.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's look at these headlines. Many of these headlines resonating on almost all the papers this morning. APC ticket, Oshibayo Tinubu fire me. Others failed to agree on consensus, but they say power must come to the Southwest. That meeting yesterday in Lagos.
Yes, the meeting was called by the leaders of the party in the Southwest, specifically to foster agenda on how power can return to the Southwest. That was the agenda of the meeting. The issue of consensus, especially on the part of Southwest candidates, was not part of the agenda of the meeting. The primary purpose of that meeting was to foster decorum and ensure that there's no name calling, that candidates should be wary of attacking personality. They should dwell more on issue, which means that it has to be issue based, because the leaders were worried, Southwest APC leaders were worried that about 7 presidential aspirants have so far indicated interest and they see that as something that is not too good for the polity of the Southwest, in such a way that it could narrow down the chances of someone from the Southwest clinching the ticket of the APC. So insider sources has confirmed that consensus was not part of the agenda, that when people collect form for so huge amount of money, it becomes very difficult for them to step down. Not even at this stage. That could still take place, but perhaps towards the tail end of the activity of the primary or in the middle of the primary election. So the agenda of yesterday's meeting was to ensure that they come together and agree that first of all, power need to come to the south, and what is their chances in terms of assurance of Southwest being the strongest bloc in the APC from southern Nigeria to be able to clinch that particular ticket. So the issue of whether they will step down for themselves was not part of the agenda. However, we also learned authoritatively that in the middle of the discussion, that was also put on the table, but it was not properly managed. It didn't skate through because originally it was not part of the agenda. I think the initiative is good by the leaders of the APC in the Southwest to call these aspirants together and address some salient issue of entitlement to the presidential ticket, issue of betrayal clause and what have you. And they were able to lay all of that to rest, that all the people that have indicated interest so far, they are eminently qualified. But the leaders were afraid of proliferation, that the more people come out, the slimmer the chances become of a Southwest person clinching the ticket of the All Progressive Congress. Well, it's still a developing story. We'll keep our fingers crossed. It's just a matter of time. In the build-up to the primary, which is the end of this month, things will manifest and we'll be able to see a clearer picture of the dimension in which it's going. But I doubt if all the aspirants will be able to participate in primary, because as at the last count, Southwest alone, we have about 7 or 8 candidates, presidential aspirants, that have indicated their interest on the platform of the APC. Of course, we said before now that the more the merrier, but it's becoming messier. It's becoming something that is worrisome. It's becoming something that is creating tension even within the polity, because you see almost will a day pass in Nigeria today that you will not hear somebody buying the nomination form of the APC or somebody declaring interest to run for the office. But like I said earlier, let's see how it goes. It's just a matter of time.
You know, yesterday some pictures went viral on the internet where during that meeting where you had the former governor of Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, shaking hands with the former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and people were asking, would they also see a picture of? There was no picture of Aregbesola and Omishore was there. There was no picture of both of them, and there was no picture of Aregbesola and the incumbent governor, that's Gbega Oyetola. There was no picture of both of them, and at some point on the video that we saw from the Nation newspaper, where the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, was trying to tell the former governor of Osun State, Rauf Aregbesola, to sit close to what's his name, Baba Omishore, and then at the background you heard him. So Omishore has become Baba. You now call Omishore Baba. You know, it was an interesting thing that played out yesterday there. But that's on the lighter note. Austin, let's move on straight to this story. The governor of Ondo State, Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu, SAN, has asked the central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele, to, as a matter of national interest, to resign if he is interested in the 2023 presidency. He made a call hours after the CBN governor joined the presidential race for the 2023 general elections. Yesterday, almost about 5 people picked up their forms yesterday. Emefiele, the Meji Bankole, Yerima, Ogbonnayo, many of them picked up their forms yesterday. But the one that calls for interest is the CBN governor, and he has been told to resign by the governor of Ondo State? Should he be told to resign, or should he have done the needful?
Yes, resignation is particularly alien in the Nigeria political culture, most especially. On a good day, he shouldn't have been told to resign or coerced to resign. He should have resigned by himself, because as it is now, there's a clear case of conflict of interest. Emefiele was appointed to be the CBN governor to stabilize the economy monetarily. You can look at it from the angle of being the chief economic advisor to the federal government, to the president, in terms of monetary policies and programs. But this speculation have been on. There have been a lot of insinuation that Emefiele want to run for the office of the president. People were guessing on what platform. Later, we saw branded vehicles in his pictures and posters. He neither also came out at any point to either confirm or deny that he will be running. And you know, typical of Nigerian politicians, that is the way they do. But yesterday, it came to the fore that Emefiele has also declared interest to run for the office of the president under the platform of the APC.
He even obtained his form. He even obtained his form, saying it was farmers that bought his form for him. You know, it could be so funny.
And what? Yes, there is compromise. A lot of these political appointees that are buying form, there is already what you call conflict of interest, because you can't be in the service using the instrumentality of the privileges of your office to obtain form under whatever guise. Was Emefiele having connection with this rice farmer before he became the CBN governor? Or was he as a result of the anchor borrowers scheme of the federal government that he capitalizes on?
Were there some monies that were diverted to this farmer? You know,
farmer. Yeah, a lot of questions. There is a clear case of partisanship on the part of Emefiele. Emefiele is holding a sensitive position in the Nigeria economy today, in the Nigerian government today, as the custodian of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Emefiele, for example, who is the governor of the CBN, is not supposed to be involved in a clear case of partisan politics. And you begin now to wonder, that is perhaps one of the reasons why some of the indices, some of the figures that is being churned out, members of the public will find it very difficult to rely on this figure, because from all indication now, it seems that they are not objective. Because I don't think Emefiele will just conceive within 24 hours of the idea to now be a card-carrying member of the APC to the extent of obtaining a presidential nomination form. It must have been a well thought out plan and arrangement. So it is uncalled for. How will our economy grow? How will we survive as a result of this? In terms of monetary policy, I am one of the few Nigerians that have believed that Emefiele has done relatively well. Of course, a lot of people would disagree because of the battered state of our economy. But don't forget, Emefiele is only in charge of the monetary policy, which by all indices, the monetary policy of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has relatively fared better. But the major area where we are having problem is the fiscal policy that has to do or to be delivered by those that are elected into office, especially the executive arm of government. So Emefiele should, as a matter of urgent national importance, throw in the towel. That is what we are talking about. The controversial issue of the Section 84, subsection 12 of the Electoral Act is still there. Because if you look at the combination of that section, it shows that you can't be a political appointee and at the end of the day want to participate in primary or be involved in politics, because that section envisages and want to put into correction that political appointee use the privileges and the opportunity of their offices to harass their political opponent, contest in a primary election, at the end of the day using state resources and state power to sway vote in their favor. So for me, Emefiele ordinarily shouldn't have waited until he's told to resign. If you think you are popular, you have the credibility, you have the street credibility, you have the popularity to become the presidential candidate of the APC. Nobody should have advised you. In my own view, any decision that Emefiele will take as from yesterday as the CBN governor is tantamount to a mere political statement, because we cannot have a situation where a CBN governor will now be a card-carrying member of a political party to the level of obtaining a presidential nomination form. This is uncalled for. If you want to play politics, play politics. People that are appointed into the office of the CBN governor, of course, it's a political appointment, but they have the background of being a technocrat. That is one of the reasons why they are appointed. So now that Emefiele has shown himself to be a typical Nigerian politician, it shows that all his judgments all along may not be thoroughly objective, because he already has the end in mind when he got the appointment as the CBN governor. So the proper thing should be done. He should resign, and APC must be very careful as a political party, because the rate at which political appointees are still holding office and collecting nomination form, it may spell doom for the party. Of course, let's just conclude that some of these people, they are just participants in the whole process. They know perhaps within themselves that they are far from clinching the ticket of the party, because if not, it will be like a booby trap. Because the case that is in court, of course, we are not supposed to talk about it, but because the news surrounds it, one, we have to talk about it in the peripheral, not so in detail. But the truth of the matter is, we never can tell what the outcome of the decision of the Court of Appeal will be on that controversial Electoral Act clause. So why not wait till that time? Because at the end of the day, or any of these appointees that are collecting or obtaining form for elected position, their candidacy at the end of the day may be voided, and that will be like double jeopardy and bitter history repeating itself, especially on the part of the APC.
Austin, do you think it is fair to gamble with 100 million and you know you won't clinch the ticket?
Well, Chike, there's another school of thought. At the studio yesterday, we discussed some things off there. You know, Ademu Agu brought an idea that some of these presidential aspirants, how are we so sure that they are obtaining form in the real sense of it? And I look at it as something that could be, that may not be far from the truth. This could just be a gimmick on the part of the APC to want to suggest to members of the public that their party is very valuable, that people want to belong to their party at all costs. That is why they could be selling form for 100 million and people are obtaining the form. If you also look at the number of people that have declared interest to run, not all of them have obtained form. Not
Austin,
all of
quickly,
them
let me
have
run you
obtained.
through. Let me run you through some of these names. About 25 of them so far from the APC. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Rotimi Amechi, Godswill Akpabio, Bonaya Onu, Senator Chris Ngige, Rochas Okorocha, Ibikunle Amosun, Pastor Tunde Bakare, Adams Oshoemole, Ben Ayade of Cross River State Governor, Governor Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, Kayode Fayemi, Emeka Nwajuba, the Minister of State for Education. We have Senator Ken Nnamani, Governor Yaya Bello, Senator Ojus Okalu, Governor Badaru of Jigawa State, Godwin Emefiele, the Governor of the Central Bank, Ahmed Sani Yerima, former Governor of Zamfara State, a Senator from Ondo State, Ajayi Borofis. We have Uji Ohenye, Pastor Nicholas Felix Nwagbo, Dimeji Bankole, former Speaker, and then we have Aisha Alubankudi, 25 of them. And you say these people might not have paid to obtain their form? We saw Dimeji Bankole, we saw Tunde Bakare as a pastor, we saw Ahmed Sani Yerima, we saw Bonaya Onu. These guys are serious.
There's no doubt that these people that you have mentioned, they are money bag in our politics today. They have the resources. Some of them have been in the Senate for more than 2 terms. Then some of them have been 2-term former governors. There's no doubt that they have the money. But we are just looking at it on the flip side. How would an individual want to gamble, like you said earlier, with a whopping sum of 100 million? But you and I can refer to 100 million as a whopping sum. To some of them, it's just like 1,000, because they have amassed wealth to the extent that 100 million does not look like anything to them. What we first of all expected at the announcement of 100 million for both expression of interest, nomination and expression of interest. We expected the aspirant to come out in the open and criticize the move and condemn the move. But we even saw people like Godswill Akpabio coming out to say that if you really want to be president of Nigeria, you should be able to cough out 100 million naira. Where are they getting this money from? So that's the issue. The number of presidential aspirants is swelling on a daily basis. And you begin to wonder that how are they going to coordinate the process to ensure that the party does not implode? Well, if the party implodes, it could be on one hand opportunity for the opposition to actually gain ground. But I fear whether they will be able to manage the arrangement. What can happen in the event of this proliferation of aspirants is a consensus, and consensus may not actually give us the best again. So that is why we are telling them. We see people cannot even win the awards, obtaining nomination form to become the president. We even see people upgrading their ambition, from senatorial ambition to presidential ambition. But let's see how it goes. How APC will be able to manage this, I do not know. Yesterday, someone still went to Mr. President to tell him that he wants to run, and Mr. President will say run. And you know the type of president that we have. Even if the old 180 million,
he seems to be having the backing of almost everybody that comes to him.
Yes, for me, the president is just deceiving so many of them. The president is just sitting on the fence. There will definitely be one person that the president is supporting. So every other one, it is just deceiving them just like that. Because the president is supposed to use that as a screening method. When they come to you, you tell them, please, let us stop this. Go and start working for the party and ensure that the party win the next election. But everybody, that has been the style of Mr. President. Even during the last governorship election, he had to go to Ogun State. He said, on the day of the presidential election, vote for me. When it comes to governorship, vote for whoever that you like. That is why a candidate of another party can be introduced to Mr. President. A governorship candidate that is not even of your party. You understand? So I feel that the president can also help the APC in all of this. But I also am of the opinion that there are a lot of people within the seat of power that know where the pendulum will swing at the end of the day. But they are just trying to deceive so many other people in the race, because the number of people that they are deceiving is far more than the one person that they may want to support at the end of the day. Because you see a situation where people that do not even have electoral value coming out to say they want to become the president of the country. But let's see how it goes.
All right, Austin, we'll go on this break, and when we come back, we'll look at two stories: the ASU and the federal government meeting, and then the aviation fuel issue. It's still 32 FM 94.9, the station where joy resides. Remember, you can watch us live on Facebook and on YouTube, and then we'll go on this break. When we come back, I'll open the phone lines. In case you're a first-time listener, it's 0705 5000 949 and 0809 7000 949. For international callers, you can call on +234 906 2000 949. Stay tuned, don't go away.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
láìsí àní-àní àwọn lọ́gbọ́n dorí ẹja mú wọn kì í fi iléeṣẹ́ online dynamics ṣeré nídìí ètò ìrìn àjò lọ sókè òkun yálà láti gbé ṣiṣẹ́ tàbí kàwé ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú ìwọ àti ẹbí rẹ pàápàá jùlọ àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè bíi Canada, America, UK, Finland, Australia àti Cyprus. àǹfààní aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ ti wá ṣí sílẹ̀ fún wọn náà láti sọ àlá rẹ di òtítọ́ nínú ètò àdínwó àtìgbàdégbà tí iléeṣẹ́ online dynamics gbé kalẹ̀ láti bá ọ ṣètò visa ticketing pẹ̀lú admission process lọ́nà ìrọ̀rùn láì fanilápòyà. You too can take advantage of online dynamics expertise and experience by joining our periodic visa, ticketing, and foreign educational package promo today. Our services at Online Dynamics give value for money. Fly with us now and pay later. Ẹ kàn sí wa lájà kẹrin Cocoa House, Dùgbẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. Tàbí lọ́fíìsì ìrànlọ́mọ tó wà ní 25 Oyedoku Street, Àgọ́wandé Òṣogbo. Telephone 0810-273-8145. Follow us on social media at Online Dynamics. Ẹ má gbàgbé oògùn tá a fowó ṣe ẹ̀yìn àrò ní gbé o. Darapọ̀ mọ́ àwọn lọ́gbọ́n lónìí ní Online Dynamics. Òkè lẹ́yẹ ń fọ̀n.
Here comes the Mega City Crusade, the Truth 2022. There shall be signs and wonders.
Aha! Better than land for Ibadan City. City of Hope Foundation. Welcome now for all the Truth 2022 City-wide crusade. Where in team be the truth. Servant of God will go feed us with the word of God that day now. Prophet M.O. Olowore Baba Automatic. Bishop Francis Waleoke. PFN National President. Reverend Sansina Jetumobi. Oyo State PFN Chamo. Pastor Moses Lano. Christ Life Church. Maryland, USA. Apostle Clement Olu Olajimi. Shining Light World Outreach. Dr. Francis Bola Akijon. Church Growth International. Gospel artist will go praise God with us that day now. Evangelist Dr. Bola Are. Evangelist Dr. Bukola Kiadeshewele Jesu. And others. Date for this crusade that Thursday 16, last Saturday 18 June 2022. Venue na Liberty Stadium waiting for Ibadan. Time now 4:30 p.m. every day. Ministers conference go show face for 9 a.m. for Thursday 16th plus Friday 17th June 2022. Now for Okiado Baptist Church, Liberty Road, Ibadan. Come know the truth and make you set yourself free. Jesus is Lord.
There shall be signs and wonders.
I'm living the life cause I get to yes.
Hey, kọ́ńbù ẹ̀kú àlejò imú gbòǹgbò ọ̀nà ẹ̀kú àlejò ẹsẹ̀ Ìbàdàn nílé Olúyọ̀lé ẹ̀kú àmójúbà Tizeti Network Limited pẹ̀lú Tizeti ìlò omi òjò lẹ́ẹ̀ máa lo ayélujára internet ní yàwàlù torí pé gbajúgbajà ní iléeṣẹ́ Tizeti Network Limited nídìí ìpèsè ayélujára lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà fún iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti olókoòwò kéékèèké lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti ẹ lè browse kẹ́ stream kẹ́ sì tún gbá géèmù bó ṣe wù yín láì níkọ̀sẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìlànà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́mùkú data kèé máa ṣeré ìwọ ni kò má sọ̀fànù 12,500 naira péré lẹ́ẹ̀fì jẹ mùlá data fódìdí oṣù kan gbáko lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti tẹ́ ẹ bá ti darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú 59,500 naira tí wọ́n fi bá yín gbé kalẹ̀ tẹ́sí lo ayélujára fódìdí oṣù kan gbáko láì níkọ̀sẹ̀ ẹ kàn sí wifi.com.ng/oyo ẹ sì lè pe 09087493040 09087493040 tàbí kẹ́ ẹ tẹ àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ sí internet@wifi.com.ng ayélujára níyàwálù Ọ̀yọ́ ló wà.
32 FM 94.9.
All right, welcome back. It's still the Break at Dawn newspaper review from our audiovisual studios here in Ibadan. 4th floor Cocoa House building, and it's 32 FM 94.9. You can join us live on Facebook and on YouTube. I'll get to take some comments from Facebook and YouTube this morning, and then we'll open the phone lines. Remember, if you're a first-time caller, it's 070-55,949 and 080-979,949. I still have Austin Idumo on the line. Austin, before we go to our caller, let's look at this story here. And it's the federal government on yesterday, said it will resume talks with the striking academic staff union of universities next week with a view to ending the prolonged closure of Nigerian public universities. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, disclosed this. That's the headline here from the Daily Post. And then you ask, why wait till this time? And then, is next week feasible? Next week will be time for them to start moving around, meeting with delegates. The minister too is contesting to becoming president.
The minister, I don't think the minister will move around. How many places has he done consultation to? You know, I told you the other time that some people are just they
are actors and they are jokers, right?
Yes, they are just jokers in the race. Okay. Some of them, apart from the day of their declaration, they have not done any single consultation. We know those that are in the race. That's the truth. We know those that are moving from one place to the other. Don't forget, people in the category of Asiwaju, okay, let me not mention them. There are some of them who are doing like the third leg of their consultation. I hope you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They've consulted nationwide before they declare. After declaration, some of them are in their second phase of consultation and meeting with delegates now. Some are in their third phase. Just very few of them, like 2 or 3 of them, are doing that dutifully, while some people are saying it is our turn and they are sitting somewhere. Back to the subject matter, on the issue of ASU, I think it's uncalled for and quite unfortunate that we are having this back and forth. We are not even talking about who is right. We are talking about what is right here. How do we save the future of education in Nigeria? especially tertiary education. Just few days ago, Emeka Nwajuba, who is also the Minister of State for Education and also an aspirant of the APC, said that he's not aware that the ASU, they are on strike. He may not be aware because some of them, their children do not attend public university.
But he attends Federal Executive Council meeting. He is in Nigeria.
It's just a way of watering down the whole issue.
I think it's an insult to students too.
Of course, trying to downplay the whole process, trying to water it down as if it does not really matter. How can the minister who has been part of that negotiation come out to say that he is not aware? That is the fallen state of our country that we talk about. Those who cannot manage the issue of ASU properly. ASU have always had problem with the federal government. It is not a Buhari issue, but some ministers under Buhari have badly managed the industrial harmony that has existed between the federal government and academic staff of university. People like Ngige have compounded the problem. People like Emeka Nwajuba, based on their utterances, have also worsened the situation. And unfortunately, these are people who cannot even manage the crisis with ASU, who want to rule Nigeria. So whatever the issues are, I think the government should just look for a way to resolve this issue once and for all. This issue that they are talking about, is it the issue of IPPIS? Is it the issue of academic allowances? I'm not sure ASU is asking the federal government for 1 trillion naira. What we are saying is that let there be sincere commitment. Make commitment. The other time they migrated from memorandum of understanding to memorandum of action. But as we speak now, the federal government has not fully implemented all that need to be implemented.
All right, let's go to the phone lines now. 0705
It's not just a case of no money.
949. All right, hello, good morning. Okay, 0705 500949 0809 700949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your thoughts, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Omobasharon.
Make it brief.
I think, honestly, this is the time for the southern part of the country to work together as a team and get the power back from the north. Enough of this northern dictatorship. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right. Thank you for making that brief point. Hello. Good morning. Okay. 0705 500949 0809 700949. You can also call +234 906 200949. That's for an international caller. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Sheriff calling from Manara.
Your name what?
I'm Sheriff calling from Manara.
All right, let's have your
kudos to the analyst. More wisdom saying to be sincere with us. If our leaders are sincere that they want to serve this country because of the masses, before someone can use 100 million to purchase a phone, that person is not a millionaire, it's a billionaire. Let me tell you the fact. Because this money is non-refundable. So a reasonable person that you know what is happening in your account and we just withdraw 100 million to purchase the phone, you really want to serve us. It's supposed to settle what we are facing now in this country because the minister that they can't even manage the portfolio they handle and they want to contest for the presidency also. Assuming now, if really love us, they can even fund also and contribute among each other just to solve this issue. 100 million now. If you count it for, I think maybe like 10% that obtain the phone, that is, if you calculate that money, we know what it means. And we are talking that this country is broken. Are we broken like that? That means there is money there. So I will advise the federal government to do the needful about the ASU. And if truly our leaders, they truly love us, we're supposed to do the needful. Because the presidential mission of Mr. President under APC government, we already know that failures build willfully. May God help us. That's my own point of reaction. Thank you.
All right, thank you. The country is not broken. You meant the country was broke. Okay, so let's take this message on Facebook before we pick another call. Raji Hafiz Abiola says, okay, good morning to you. About the obtaining of presidential forms, honestly, this situation is making Nigerian politics look like a house of comedy, and you went on and on. Hello, good morning.
Chike, good morning.
Good morning, okay.
This is okay, Austin, good morning. Please, the Southwest contestants, they don't have to put consensus on their agenda before going, because from the outcome of what they said, it's already clear that they wanted to do something whereby one person will come around. And for Ajuba, Chike, I wonder the kind of leaders we have. The very person that has been involved in all the discussion coming around now, it just tells you they take us for play. They are actually playing with us. Probably they've turned us to a snooker board where they turn it around to where they feel.
So who is the cue stick and who is the cue ball? 070555000 949 0809 7000 Those are the numbers to call. And Omar Basharu here on Facebook says, honestly, this is the time for presidential aspirants from the southern part of the country to work together as a team and get power back to the southern part. Enough of northern dictatorship in the country. I still remain the voice, the voice of the masses. Okay, that's Omar Bashar there. 0705 5000 949. Austin, quickly, let's look at this headline, and it's from Daily Post too. It talks about airline operators announcing a shutdown of operations with effect from Monday 9th over the skyrocketing cost of aviation fuel, which has reached an all-time high of 700 naira per litre. That's high. The operator sympathized with the passengers, saying Jet A1 has shot up the cost of operations to over 95%. It can't be sustained anymore. They want to shut down. Effects on the economy.
Yes, it will have a devastating effect. Of course, aviation sector is one of the sectors that has done well in the economy. If you look at the last recession, it was the aviation sector and the agri sector, I think communication sector too, that actually recorded level of marginal growth in the economy. It's a sector that the federal government should not joke with. So whatever they have to do, let them bail out the sector and ensure that our airline continue to run smoothly. Because the implication of this hike in Jet A1 fuel is that the shortest distance probably would be like 120,000 naira. How many people can afford that? You know, because of the level of insecurity on our roads, air travel is becoming very popular in Nigeria today. People you hardly expect can fly are now flying. But look at what is befalling the airline again, the aviation sector. So a lot of people will be forced to shut down their businesses. And if the cost of operating is more than the returns on that particular investment, it means that it's counterproductive. You can't even break even, which means that you are going to run at a loss. And instead of running at a loss, it is better to close shop. So the federal government should not look at the aviation sector in a way that that sector will collapse. Because this particular threat came, I think, over a month or two ago when the crisis began. But rather than abating, I think it is becoming on the high side. The crisis is unabating in the aviation sector, especially as a result of the hike in aviation fuel. So let federal government trace it. The operators have also said that they should be given licenses to bring in this product. And the federal government
Austin,
at that time
kindly hold your thoughts. Let's pick this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Fagbemi from Ibadan.
Okay, let's have your thoughts.
You see, there's nothing wrong in unity. But unity should be devoid of hypocrisy. The southern leaders of APC that are coming together now, why are they not coming together before now to call Tinubu, Oshibajo, and meet Buhari to make sure that they stop inflicting injuries economically, politically, and otherwise on Nigerians? They are now coming up because of their own party to continue in power, to continue to wreak havoc on us again. Is that the meaning of their meeting? I don't think that's a good word. God will not allow them to say it. Good morning.
All right. Good morning to you. I don't know if I should say an amen to your prayer, But Kolawole Kazim on Facebook says the solution to this ASU strike is for the federal government to sack any lecturer who abandon their jobs and go on strike. Well, is that the solution? Kolawole Kazim, you wrote a long epistle here. If you want to read Kolawole Kazim's post, you can go on our Facebook page at 32FM949 Ibadan. Taiwo Oluwagbemileke Israel. So Nigerian politics is funny. Imagine if each and every aspirant using 100 million naira to buy a farm can just invest in Nigeria and employ people. Are we going to